Germany expressed a wish to decouple from China. And to achieve this goal, Germany did what the US told it to. But what Germany forgot to consider was that China could also respond. To help Germany decouple better, China canceled a $100 billion car order from Germany, making it realize what it had missed out on. This cancellation has sent panic in Europe, as it will cause a huge economic loss. Germany is the economic powerhouse of Europe, and canceling the order would make Germany struggle. Not to mention, Germany is already in an economic crisis. Now, will Germany give up on its plan of decoupling from China? Let's find out. But what would be the impact of this order cancellation? The immediate and most apparent consequence of China's cancellation is the loss of revenue and potential job cuts in Germany. German automakers were banking on this order to boost their income significantly. However, with the order now off the table, these companies face financial uncertainty. This loss of income could lead to job cuts and a decline in employment in the automotive sector, which accounts for a substantial 4% of German employment. The cancellation of the car order has strained relations not only between Germany and China, but also between the European Union and China. This strained diplomatic atmosphere could have broader implications for trade and economic cooperation between the two regions. It might lead to a slowdown in other sectors of the German economy as trade tensions persist. But once you know why China canceled this order, you would also agree that Germany deserved this. In recent years, the global automotive landscape has been shaped by the rise of electric vehicles and EVs. China, with its robust EV industry, is poised to become the world's largest car exporter. German automakers, renowned for their expertise in traditional combustion engines, now face increasing competition from Chinese EV manufacturers. This heightened competition could potentially shorten their market share and profitability. The cancellation of the car order highlights the need for German automakers to adapt to the growing demand for EVs. Chinese consumers have demonstrated a preference for cutting-edge EV models from local manufacturers, equipped with advanced battery technology and sensors. In contrast, German-made EVs have been perceived as somewhat outdated. To remain competitive, German automakers must invest in research and development to enhance their EV offerings. The combination of the electric vehicle revolution and the cancellation of the car order has raised concerns about the potential for deindustrialization in Germany. This risk is similar to what the United States experienced in the early 2000s when its manufacturing sector declined. To avert this scenario, policymakers need to take proactive measures to support the transition to EVs and ensure the long-term competitiveness of the German automotive industry. But why did China cancel this order? Firstly, China cites Germany's unreasonable demands as a key reason for the cancellation. German policymakers and leaders have been leaning towards the United States, aligning themselves with efforts to impose sanctions on China. Additionally, Germany has openly supported efforts to de-risk investments in China. Consequently, China decides to help Germany de-risk better and teach it a lesson it won't forget. And this makes the French finance minister's statement correct, that de-risking from China is an illusion. Germany's alignment with the United States on issues related to China marks a notable shift in its foreign policy. Historically, Germany has maintained a balanced approach in its international relations. However, recent developments indicate a growing willingness to cooperate with the United States in countering China's influence. This shift has not gone unnoticed by Chinese authorities and may have played a role in the cancellation of the car order. Everyone knows how the US uses all the European nations for its benefit, and Germany is no exception. Without question, they are doing what the US tells them to. But this time, China taught Germany a lesson it needed. Germany's economic strength is intertwined with that of the European Union. As Europe's largest economy, Germany's well-being has a direct impact on the stability of the entire region. The cancellation of the car order has therefore echoed across Europe, causing widespread concern about the broader economic consequences.
Yo, what do you think about that?
This is the moon that you see every day. It's right above your head, and it probably never occurred to you that the key to understanding where you live is right in front of your eyes. I will show you now what it is that you're looking at and what you don't see. The image of the moon contains the map of the Earth. In fact, it looks like it's the only true map of the world. Mirrored, distorted, and sketchy, but beyond a shadow of the doubt, perfectly accurate in reflecting all the continents and their right proportions. It takes a bit of time to see it and to get used to it, because it requires a lot of internal effort to overcome a lifetime of conditioning and to believe that what you're being taught from birth is not true. But if you have an open mind and if you're curious about what you're looking at, you will realize that this is not the first time you've seen it, and that somebody might know this truth too, but they don't want to disclose it to you.
Hmm. A lot of theories here, but how do you know?
I just come back from Italy. I'd been chief of security intelligence in Rome. And in the intelligence business, I was trained really by the British. I was an MI-19. So when I came back, I went to Fort Riley, Kansas. One night, I was a post-duty officer. Post-duty officer means that I was in control. For that night, I was the one that checked all the guards, checked all security areas. In fact, checked the whole post. I was the duty officer that night. And I went to the veterinarian section. A sergeant I knew very well was sergeant of the guard that night. I told him, Sarge, how's everything around here? And he said, fine, sir. I told him, you know, they told me to be careful to watch this area because you have a sense of something sensitive here. He said, you want to see it, sir? I told him, yes, let's go look. And I knew this sergeant very, he was a master sergeant. I went back and there was 5 crates there, like 5 or 6, I think it was 5. I lifted one up and here's this body there and floating in fluid. And I looked at it about 10, 15 seconds, not much more than that. So I put it back down and I said, Sarge, come on, get out of here now. I don't want to get you in trouble. Because I'm the duty officer, I can go around, walk around here. But you might get in trouble for coming back. Just come on, let's go, come out with me. So we went out, and I told him, where did it come from, Sarge? He said, well, 5 trucks came through, are coming through here from an airfield in New Mexico, and they're heading for Wright-Patterson Air Force. So, and I started to figure, what was that? First, I thought it was a child, because it was small. Then I looked at this head and all, right away, and this was only happened in a matter of seconds. Then I put the end back down. The head was different, the arms were spindly, the body it was gray. So right at that moment, I figured, I don't know what this thing is. So like in the intelligence business, I just better put it in the back of my head here and wait till maybe in the future I get corroboration so I can evaluate what it is. I was 4 years at the White House, and I kept getting reports there. But they were just reports. They just were sporadic reports that came through. Of course, I had all the clearances, so I'd get them. And I did get one time a report that NSA was getting signals from space, which were not just space noise, or something you couldn't read. They were really very perfect and looked like something was guiding them. There was a real message, but we were never able to decode it. This was a very coordinated message. It wasn't space noise or jam or jumble mumble or anything like that, or just noise coming. It was a pattern. When I came back, General Trudeau pulled me in. He had reorganized research and development from a secondary mission logistics. Then he created the Foreign Technology Division about a week later and put me in charge of it. There I started getting the topsy reports. I started getting other crash reports, the artifacts I got. When I came to research and development, which was 14 years later, by the way, I inherited all these artifacts, and I inherited the reports, the topsy reports from Walter Reed Hospital. Now, Walter Reed, there was a laboratory there, which was our laboratory, and we financed. That's who did the autopsies for us. So there I started getting indication, proof that a crash really happened here. As I say, I had the evidence that a crash did happen here.
If you only had a moment to speak in open congressional hearings to discuss what happened 50 years ago, what would you say?
I say it happened, and I'd add on to that. Give us information to the young people of the world in this country. They want to hear it. They want it. Give it to them. Don't hide it and tell lies and make stories. They're not stupid. They're not young men that'll panic. Why do you think they'll panic? They want this information. They deserve it. It's their information. It doesn't belong to the Army or the Department of Defense. It's theirs. If it's classified, Take the classification off and give it to them. Well, the head really wasn't that big, but in portions of the body, a small body, it looked big. And the eyes, there was no nose or anything like that. It had spindly legs. So that was about it, because I didn't have any autopsies. And I just put it off, because I figured, well, maybe someday I'll get corroboration and be able to evaluate. Later, I got my hands on the autopsy report in 1961 when I took charge of the Foreign Technology Division from Walter Reed Hospital, our own laboratory. So there I started putting it all together. So then we came to the conclusion that it was a humanoid clone. General Trudeau told me one day, it took us 5 years to fully develop a transistor, because somebody else started, and the integrated circuit. If we didn't have the help, like Olbert says, that we've been helped, and Smith said, the boys upstairs, it would have taken us 250 years. The message in my book that I like to see the help we got from outer space, and these beings exist. And let the young people know that that's the future that they're going to be seeing and live with. Let the young people, we're old, we're going to be gone. Let those young people, they need this help. They're going to be the ones that carry it on. This is it. Not people like me. I'm 82 years old. What's it going to make to me? But these three, my little grandchildren, they got to know this. They're going to be living this in the future. Let them know how it started, where the seed came from. Intentional or unintentional doesn't matter. It came. That's all. Whether they gave it to us or not is not important. We got it. We had it. Whether they gave it to us intentionally or it was a mistake or something, that doesn't matter.
Well, man, I think now that is pretty hard to think about, man. What do you think about that information? Is it facts or that guy? That there is an episode we did about him also, and an interview maybe you can watch. And what he is saying is very scary. It's true, man. The people that are to come be after us, man. What do they be knowing about this earth? But thanks to you for watching these videos and liking, because maybe they might reach all over the world through sharing love, and many people will be seeing them even in the future. Yeah, we don't know, but yo, this is crazy. These videos, let's keep watching. Watch till the end. Good vibes only. These videos, they also confuse me, and bro, sometimes I don't know what to say.
I was sitting in my bed going, what would it take for society to completely collapse? And I was like, all it would take is the power going out. It doesn't.
Oh, yeah. Like how many days?
For a year.
A year.
Yeah, we're fucked.
We're already in
Less.
apocalypse. How quick did you go during COVID to be like, I got to get something to protect my house? They're going to come door to door.
Gun sales
looking
went
for
through the
groceries.
roof.
Who, me?
Yeah, did you go to that place?
Dude,
I went
I
instantly.
live in that place. I'm in that place every day. What the fuck are you talking?
Moses is not the real name. That's the made-up name. It really was Pharaoh Akhenaten, who was ushering in monotheism in Egypt while he was a pharaoh, worshiping Amen-Ra, the great Amen. Amen-Ra was one of these Anunnaki people, said, look, from now on, there'll be no other God but me. That made it into the Bible. When you say thanks, you say thanks to me, you say amen. That made it into the Bible. Teach the people only to worship me, not any of my other relatives. I'm the only one and true God. They kicked him out of Egypt. They kicked the Pharaoh out of Egypt, and he fled with his new followers. They crossed the Sea of Reeds, not the Red Sea, which they tell you in the Bible. Nobody ever crossed the Red Sea. It's a mistranslation by accident on purpose. They crossed a much smaller, much easier to cross sea. People realized the information that they had been brought up learning is actually severely inaccurate, and that the information is based on plagiarized tablets between Islam and Christianity and Buddhism and all these other religions that have taken from the same tablets. And the real stories are in the tablets. The full unedited, undoctored, and change these words around here and there, that's not done in the tablets. The tablets is what it says. When you come to the Bible, all of a sudden you get to a lot of text like Jesus saying, honor your slave master as you would honor me. Do you think that just guy would really say something like that if he's all this light and he's a light being and he's all about love and salvation, and he's telling you now, no, you better obey that slave master? Come on, that's somebody, let me write this in there because it's going to benefit us when you write this in. We can tell the slaves, hey, you see what Jesus said? You better listen to Jesus. So this is a lot of twisting and turning. The Bible is a remix, is what it really is.
Yo,
Apparently, we've all been using these sorts of can openers wrong, and ever since I learned this, I have not fucking known peace, and now neither will you. This this is how my parents did it, so this is how I did it. No, that's not how you do it. Because this little motherfucker is there for a reason. So, you actually clamp that bad boy on top. What? Right? Apparently some people just knew this, and the reason that we do it like this is so it just lifts away. You don't have to stick your little picky fingers into the thing. I don't even know what to say anymore.
Oh, I'm surprised that she's debating about the right way to use that thing. And myself, I've never even seen that thing. I've never even used it. That's very... what do you call it even? I'm surprised that machine. Yo, there's a lot of things that it seems I don't know.